Folks, it is time once again for Behind the Channels, the show where you get to be. Folks, it is time once again for Behind the Channel. Mute myself over there. We'll wait just a minute, see if anybody comes in or not. Tonight, we are going to have a special Behind the Channels. It is a special Gill Skills Live edition. So tonight we're just going to have the one person up here tonight, folks. Gill Skills is quite the celebrity, I guess, out there in YouTube, I would say. So we are going to have him up here because I bet he has quite a bit to say. And hopefully my co-host will get in here pretty soon, so we can get her up on the panel with us. Hopefully she will be there soon. Type in here. So, oh, look at that. Here she comes. She is here and she is ready. Good evening, Missy.
Hi, Maine-iac. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good tonight. How are you, darling?
I'm doing just fine.
Hit
Just
that
trying to
button
set
right
myself
there.
up. Hi, everybody in chat.
Sit around. Freeman James, welcome, welcome. Eileen Vayu, the fam, welcome. Good evening, darling. As you might have seen on the way in, it is a special Gill Skills night tonight, and we are going to be waiting for him to show up. So how you been doing this week, Missy, while we're waiting for Mr. Gill?
I have been just videotaping shout-outs because I really can't go live. I've been saving it for your special night tonight. And just experimenting with that. That's pretty much it. You know.
Yep, I've seen it. And the raiders are starting to come in from Gill Skills. He told me he was going to raid me tonight, so we welcome that. Welcome, raiders.
Did you ever finish your year-old whoopie pie, your wedding pie?
I had a bite and a half of it.
Didn't save it for the next day.
No, it was stale. It was. Wow. Sounds weird tonight, but it was stale. And we are off to a quick start tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Already waiting on our basement is none other than Gill Skills. Hey.
How you doing, guys?
How you doing, buddy? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
The show where we get to meet the creators behind the channel. Tonight is the special Gill Skills edition because I am sure that Mr. Bob Gills, not only does he have 2 channels out there now, folks, count them, 2 channels out there, but I'm sure he's probably got quite a story to tell us too. He might not think so, but I'm sure we will find some things interesting. We'll dig up some stuff. Missy, you start prying.
Well, first off, can I say that I really did you get your other camera?
Yes, I did. Because
you look way better.
Yep, I got my other camera and I put up the other green screen. I got to get the lighting a little bit better somehow, but
I don't know. I kind of like it. It looks like there's sunshine rays coming down on you.
Well, yeah, kind of. But yeah, I got the new camera today and played around with it, and it looked really good. It looked really, really good.
Nice.
Well, there. And then when I put up the new green screen, it looked awesome. There's no fuzziness to everything like there was before. So
no more Ed, and Eddie, huh?
Yeah, good call. I mean, and it does look a lot better. So, and I went with the Logitech C930E.
It was a good choice.
Yep, worked pretty good. So let me dig up your channels here, Gil.
Howdy, y'all in the chat. Hopefully you're having a good night. I feel like I just talked to a lot of you.
Yeah, it does seem that way, doesn't it? Okay, let's. This part of it is the part where I get a little. Actually, Gil's probably running this thing than I am. All right, we got. Yeah, let's open up another over here. So, what you been up to, Gil? Before I'm getting this stuff here ready.
Not much. I've been working. When I'm not working, I'm on YouTube, either on live streams or what have you. And when I'm not doing that, actually, if we were doing this in order of priority, it would be work and then hanging out with the family, with the kids, going to games, stuff like that. And when I'm not doing that, I usually am on YouTube, trying to catch up on YouTube channels and managing my own channel. Channels.
And you've actually made it to quite a few of the morning coffee chats lately.
It's a great show. I really didn't. I don't want to miss it.
That's folks is one that I do the coffee time, and then I do it on Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and I think Mess Hall's been picking them up on Friday, and Hunting and Stuff with J&J does them on Monday and Tuesday. So we have a group of us that just kind of keep it going and bounce it around between channels, and it's been turning out pretty good for all of us. So
that's awesome. I mean, you're definitely seeing some steady growth, and I mean, it's nice to have like something that you can go to on a regular basis, on a daily basis. If you got a routine, it's nice to have you as a part of that routine.
Yep, and it's always all of us in there. So, alrighty, which one would you like to show first, there, Bob?
You pick.
I pick.
Host choice.
Well, let's go with just Gil Skills. Oh no, there we go. We'll go with Gil Skills because that's the original. There it is. And again, as most folks know, I preview the channel. I do not do reviews because most of the people out there that I have up on this, they're way beyond me. So I have nothing I can tell them. So I just do a preview of the channel. So yeah, go ahead and in your own words, tell us a little bit about Gil Skills, the original.
Sure, but first and foremost, the sub count doesn't define you as far as your knowledge and what you do know and what you don't know. We just talked about this. I think Hot Mess Missy was in the chat. You were in the chat, but yeah, experience does matter. But anyway, all right, I'm rambling. Sorry. But Gil Skills is all about community, guys. It's all about helping people grow on a personal level, helping people save money, make a little money. There's a lot of how-to videos in there. If you're on a shoestring type of budget, I show you a lot of DIY ways to like fix your brakes in the car, or how to keep rodents out of your eaves. And I show you how to scrap metal to save a little extra money, or make a little extra money. I do cooking videos. Yeah, a lot of those live streams are. I'm actually thinking about taking those out, because this is a great reason why I separated the channels, because you see the live streams were basically overshadowing the content.
Mm-hmm.
That's primarily why I did what I did.
Yeah, I'm finding that's happening in mine also. So.
Yeah.
There's a lot of videos. Now, how long have you been doing YouTube?
Actively, probably about 3.5 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah. Yep. Actively, I've had my YouTube channel for a good long while. In the about section, it shows when it was created. But like I said, it wasn't until about 3.5 years ago when I said, all right, I'm going to give this a go. I'm going to start uploading videos.
2014.
Yep. But yeah, it's all about empowering people, you know, helping people realize they're capable of more than they think. You know, having those how-to videos there, giving people the tools to do certain things. You know what I mean? It does wonders for one's self-esteem, I think.
So with this channel, we know where you've been, and those of us that know you and follow you very closely, we know where you're going with it by taking the channels and splitting them off in two different directions. But is there anything else besides just that split that you would like to do, that you may be doing a little bit different on the original Gill Skills channel?
Well, on the Gill Skills channel, we're about to reach an impasse on that, because I've been telling people for the last several weeks, if I can get one of my more recent videos, like the last 5 videos or so, to reach 300 views, I'll start uploading twice a week instead of once a week. Now, once that happens, I'm going to put out a poll with various different things that I could potentially do for that day, because I'm going to assign a day to it and I'm going to assign a topic to it. Wednesdays is usually scrap day. So the next one's going to be, it's going to be viewer choice. So I'll put out a poll and we'll see what people want and we'll go from there.
Very cool.
Yeah.
But it's going to stay the same old DIY and stuff like that it has been right along.
The heart of the channel is going to stay the same. It's going to be about personal growth, whether it be DIY or otherwise. But I don't know where that's going to expand to in the future right now. I guess that's the best way I could say it. But I always want the foundation to be about personal growth.
Very good. I'm looking for a short video here, and you're one of those people that your videos aren't really short. I mean, you got some that are pretty short. Here we go. Here's one. I'm not sure if I clicked the tick or not, so I'm going to stop this for a second.
Did you say click the tick?
Click the tick is what I call it, because you have to do the share audio, and if you don't click it, the audio won't come up along with it.
Oh, okay.
And
Cool.
Some people call it a tick. Some people say click the box. I say click the tick. So, all right, we will take a look at this video right here. Excuse me, we're gonna skip through the ad though.
No worries.
This one time.
You do what you got to do, man.
Oops, and I got it muted. Not sure what happened there.
So this little bugger right here, she's kind of rusted up. So she's not holding air. We'll leave a little compressor here, which is already all pressurized and ready to go. We'll fill this tire up, and then we're going to take some 20% or 10% soap and the rest water. As long as it makes soap bubbles, that's all that really matters. So what we're going to do is, once this is completely filled up, we're going to spray the outside edges, and we're also going to spray a little nozzle there, and we're going to see if anything bubbles up. And we're going to need to do it on both sides. So if anything bubbles up, we're going to mark that area, and then we'll need to take the tire off. The next step is to pressurize the tire and spray it and see what happens from there. That rim was so bad.
Yeah, that was a rough rim.
I still have another one just like it that I've got to do the same thing on. I got to scrub down the rim and clean it. And I'm going to make a video on that because, yeah, people are asking about that.
Rim number 2.
Now what we're going to do is we're just going to spray around the rim. Normally it's not this obvious, but holy moly, there's a tsunami of soap bubbles.
There was. That was. It was pretty cool.
Look at all the air coming out of there.
All right, I'm gonna skip ahead a
Spots.
little bit.
See it? See it coming up over here?
That's the backside.
There. Basically, all this amounts to is the rust. Basically, what happens is the rust expands the metal, and then it causes little pockets for the air to get out of. So, in order to fix this little mess, we need to take the tire off, and then ultimately, we need to scrub down the rim, and then clean it up. Guys, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to see me actually take the tire off the rim and show you how I clean the rim to prevent it from leaking in the future, please let me know in the comments below. And I'll create a video.
There we go. And I was kind of curious because I know sometimes when rims are that bad and you take them off, the old rust is on there so bad that it's almost like somebody ran a MIG welder around it or something, and it is stuck to it, and you cannot get it off without a grinder.
I used an angle grinder on it. It had the brush attachment, the steel wool brush attachment, and I went all over it with an angle grinder, cleaned it up as best I could, and repainted it, and it's on the trailer now. She's holding air.
Very good.
A lot of people said, well, why don't you just replace it? Well, the whole idea of creating a video like that is, for people that are on a shoestring budget that can't afford to replace a tire or replace a rim, and this is how you can do it with minimal effort and time.
And if it's not fixable, folks, you are still have the ability to go out and get an inner tube to go inside of it instead of buying a new tire.
That's true.
Which is about 1/3 of the price of a whole new tire. So maybe even less than that. So.
Oh, thank you, R5.
Missy,
guys, do me a favor. Share this out for Maine-iac, please. Share this out. Let's get some peeps up in here.
Appreciate it. Well, we got 13 in here. Not too bad. Not too bad. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing that one. And then I'm going to share screen again. And we will go over to the new Gil Skills Live channel. This is channel number 2, folks, for those that don't know Gil. And this is where he does all of his live chats now.
This channel is not fully developed yet, but yeah. And it's grown quite quickly in such a short period of time. So I want to thank everybody for that.
It has. You've had this up now for about a month, I think.
Yep, about a month.
About a month running. And you have this new thing where you do Monday through Friday, you do a live lunch chat with folks.
Yep. Basically, I take my lunch break and I spend 30 minutes a day with everybody. I call it lunchtime shenanigans, and we just hang out. Like I say in the stream, it's just a great big hello and how are you? Seeing how everybody's day's going. It's a great place for people to talk, chat, vent. Yeah.
and this is going to be the channel where you do all your live streams, and it's going to be nothing but live streams, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So any video he does, folks, will be over on Gil Skills, and then any live streaming will be on Gil Skills Live.
Correct.
And he can explain to you why he's keeping them separated, because I don't understand it.
well, I mean, if you remember a little while ago, we were looking at all the videos on the original channel. He was going through, and like you saw some of my uploaded content speckled in with a whole bunch of, live thumbnails. So it was, I felt like the content was getting lost in the shuffle, and not only for the viewers, but for the algorithm as well. I don't think that YouTube quite understood where to place my channel in terms of the algorithm. So that they could recommend me. So I figured I'd eliminate the variable and just, create a secondary channel just for the live streams, separate the content from the live streams. And it's still a bit of an experiment. I still don't know how it's going to turn out, but so far I'm seeing really positive results.
Yep. It's a good channel, and he does a Monday through Friday at noon-ish. And then you've got your Saturday show that you do with R5. Guys do a back-to-back.
Yep.
With each other on your panel. And then you also Tuesdays and Thursdays, correct?
Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturday nights, usually 7 p.m. Eastern. Saturdays are the Creature double feature with R5. And then after that, Sundays, I do an Across the Pond edition at 1 p.m. Eastern for our folks across the pond. And that's usually a fun stream.
Yep, I forgot about that one.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my gosh, Prev. I was so nervous.
2015.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been back on the other channel, which I have already clicked off of.
Yeah, my very first video, I had a goatee, but it wasn't much of one. And I was just walking around the office. I was nervous as all heck trying to describe myself. Yeah. It was interesting.
And that, folks, is the channel of Gill Skills. Both Gill Skills Live. We just gave you his rundown. I'll put some more in the description when this re-uploads. And now we want to get to know Bob. So,
what would you like to know? I'm an open book.
Anything that you would like to tell us?
Let's see. When I was 2 years old, no.
No, like, we all have the hobby of YouTube right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you got your hobby of scrapping, which you're coinciding the two together. But other than that, what does Bob Gill like to do?
Well, I mean, in all honesty, I don't have much of a life. So I usually stay at home. And when I'm not home, I usually am either at the scrapyard or doing something with my kids and my wife. And usually that equates to school functions, soccer games, and different, things like that. But I do like to play pool. I do like to bowl. Let's see, what else can I share about myself? I am a senior logistics coordinator for a company called Wayfair. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of Wayfair.
You can get a chair there.
Yeah.
Wayfair, I need.
Yes, they pay the bills for me here. And they're a great company. I get to work at home, and it's a great place to work for. It really is. And let's see, before I worked at Wayfair, I mean, I had a multitude of different jobs, but I worked for telecommunications for cellular companies. I worked for Verizon as a tech, and for customer service, the call center before it gets shut down. I worked at US Cellular for 13 years as a sales consultant. And that was pretty lucrative. That was back in the day when the bag phones were really popular.
That was my first cell phone.
That was my first cell phone too. And in between all of that, I worked for a couple of companies. One of them was called Amicus, and then the other one was called Unlimited Work, or I can't remember. But it was I was a job coach working with people that have disabilities, people with Asperger's or autism, and helping them maintain a level of independence in the workplace, which is super cool.
Yep, I know exactly what that is.
Yep.
We have that position. We have one of those in our company where a few people go around and they're the job coach for it.
I really enjoyed that job. If it paid more, I'd still be there.
Yeah, working in that field does not pay. I just had a question on I know what I was going to say. So You are a Maine transplant.
Yes, I am. I guess what you call a flatlander.
You've been here how long?
Since '96.
Yeah, so no, you graduated to transplant. You're
Oh.
no longer a flatlander. You're now a transplant, and your next step up is ridge runner.
Ridge runner.
Ridge runner. I don't
Ridge
know. That's something my grandfather used to tell my stepdad. He come from Massachusetts.
I'm happy to be. I'm happy to be a transplant. I love it up here. It's a great state to live in. It
And
is.
you came from
Rhode Island. I was born and raised in Rhode Island, and we had a camp up here since I was in the single digits, age wise, and we'd come up to hunt and fish and all that. And my father and mother one day they said, "Well, the taxes are crazy in Rhode Island, and a lot of they wanted to get away from it all." And it was just a simpler way of life up here. The taxes were much less and all that. So they ended up moving. I ended up staying because I was a senior in high school and I didn't want to graduate with strangers. So I stayed my senior years and a couple of years after that. And then I moved up, I think, when I was 21. Been here ever since.
We have a question from Eileen. I just had it here a second ago. Hang on. She wants to know, Eileen Vilex the fam. She wants to know what made you start your channel.
Start my both of my channels.
Sure.
Why not?
Yeah.
I
would start with the first one.
I started my channel because I started my channel because I enjoyed watching YouTube to begin with, and there was a couple of inspirations. One I can equate to the Moose Scrapper, for one, and two, Scrap and Pallet Man, and a few others. That's what really pushed it over the edge for me to start my own channel. But I really wanted to help people figure out ways to make extra money. I mean, it was in a time in my life when, which wasn't really all that long ago, but it was in a time in my life when, money wasn't all that plentiful, and I had to scrape and pinch pennies to get by. And finding new and creative ways to do that was where it was at for me at the time. So I said, you know what, I want to pay this forward. I want to pay what I'm learning forward, and that's why I created the channel.
Very good. And saving money is always a good thing.
Heck yeah.
and making so you have 2 kids, correct?
Yep. My son, he's going to be 17 in December. And my daughter, she just turned 15 this past July. Yeah, I've got my hands full.
Yeah. But
They're good kids, though.
Cherish it because they disappear fast. Yeah.
That's what I'm afraid of. I'm starting to feel that. I'm starting to dread that, to be perfectly honest with you. So I try to take every opportunity I can to spend time with them and do stuff with them, because I know that, once they're grown up and doing their own thing, it's going to be different. I mean, they'll still be my son and daughter, but it's going to be different.
Yep. And they may not live so close.
Yep.
And so,
or they may stay forever.
Well, they can stay as long as they want. I told them that. I said, you can stay as long as you want, but you're going to work for your rent, or you're going to pay rent. You're going to pay your way, but yeah.
See, when I did it, I didn't phrase it as stay as long as you want. I phrased it as stay as long as you need.
Yep.
And my son was gone. He hit college at 17 and he was gone. And my daughter stuck around a little bit longer, but she hit 18 and she went in the Army for a little over a year.
Wow. That's cool.
Yep.
My first one was like, oh, sorry, go on, Gil.
Oh, I was going to say, I mean, my kids' aspirations as far as what they do after school or beyond high school is kind of sporadic. My son mentioned something about the military, and now he's talking about doing like some sort of vocational thing. You know, he wants to be a ranger, not a ranger, oh my gosh, I can't think of the term. Maine-iac knows what I'm talking about.
A warden?
Warden, thank you. Game warden. He wants to be a game warden.
Game warden in Maine is hard because game wardens in Maine actually have more authority than the state police do. But yet they can't arrest you, which is weird, but
kind of an irony, isn't it?
It is. They have more jurisdiction and stuff than a state cop does. So,
like I said, I'm usually an open book on my live stream, so there's not really too much to tell on it.
Oh, of course there is.
Look at what was your dream growing up? Do you have any dreams that you wanted to do that?
My dream was to hit the lottery and just not work. No. Yeah, I think that's everybody's dream. Once you hit an adulthood, I think that's everybody's dream. But honestly, I didn't really have one. I when I went through high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. You know, I didn't know what my calling was. And eventually, after high school and moving up here and whatnot, I realized I just wanted to be in a position where I could help people. You know, I just want that because it's gratifying to do that. You know what I'm saying? If I can help someone in some degree, shape, or form, then I'm there. Like this position I'm doing right now. You know, no customer can see me. I don't talk to customers or anything, but I make sure that their experience with Wayfair is seamless. You know, if there's an issue with the freight or something's going on, I take care of it on the back end. They never see it. You know, I enjoy that. You know, the unsung hero, if you will.
Yeah, I've always said I don't think I could sit around on a computer all day, but since I've been doing YouTube, I think I probably could.
I got to tell you, Maine-iac, I'm starting to get seriously restless. Like I sit at this desk for 8 hours a day doing my regular job, and then I turn around and I live stream for an hour, and I'm with you probably for at least an hour, so that's another 2 hours. And I'm going to get myself one of those adjustable desks where, like you can get a standing desk, you just push a button and it raises up, so that I can at least move around a little bit and stand if need be.
Yep. Now,
Kelly Jelly, Hard Life. Well, look at all these folks in here.
Yeah, Hard Life has a question.
Oh, go ahead.
He wants to know what your main goal is for your channel.
My main goal for my channels are to help people. It's about personal growth. It really is. It really boils, down to personal growth and empowering people to be able to do things themselves. Truthfully, that's the core of both channels.
Yep.
Full stop.
Some people may not know that next week, you and I and possibly Don Moose Scrapper, I haven't heard back from him a second time yet, will be going gold panning and doing probably some sort of collab videos or our own videos or whatever we're going to end up doing up there.
I'm looking forward to that.
Hopefully we can find some gold. I promise not to cheat with you like I did not last time I went up gold painting, but the time before that. I took a bunch of the residents for the company I worked for and took them gold panning. And of course we went to the store that's there and they all watched the little gold panning demonstration, and then they were all excited. And so after we were all done sluicing it, the week before I had gone and bought 2 little vials of gold flakes. And when they weren't looking, I dumped it into the gold pan. Man, they were ecstatic. They really was.
That's awesome.
Everybody's face. And so I promised not to put any fake gold in there for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the difference between a good person and a great person right there.
So what I might do, and I normally do anytime I go up there, is to make sure you can buy these little $5 buckets of sand that will have one or two really small things in it.
Yeah.
And what I like to do is usually when I get the sluice box set up, I will actually run one of those through to make sure that the sluice box is catching gold. But
yeah, I mean, it's probably just going to be me.
oh, really?
Melissa already expressed concern that the kids are going to have, sports stuff that they'll have to do. So it depends on which day, if it's Saturday, Sunday. I'm not sure which day we decided on, but
Saturday. I have to work on Sunday. So
yeah. So chances are it'll probably just be me, but I'm the heck with it. I'm doing it.
Yep. That it'd be even, like I said, it'd be great if Don decides that he can come along.
It would be awesome if he could come. Seriously, I haven't seen him in like forever.
Yeah,
I'm supposed to head down his way to do a collab with him on that new forge that he got, but he never had the chance to use it.
Oh yeah, he hasn't used it. Yeah, I haven't.
No. Oh yeah.
Come to think of it. So
we got a few more questions here.
Yeah, I see that.
What got you into scrapping? What type of scraping do you prefer? And do you have other self pleasures besides Twinkies?
Okay. Well, what got me into scrapping is that I was getting by, I was paying my bills, but I didn't have really any extra money to do what I wanted or buy what I wanted. So scrapping was one of those things that was free, and it made extra money. It was as simple as that. So I started doing it, and back then I had a goal of reaching X amount of money to buy whatever it was, and then I was going to be done with it, but I kind of got hooked on it and been doing it ever since. There's something about taking something apart, What type of scrapping do you prefer? Any scrapping that yields a good amount of anything: steel, copper, brass, aluminum. It doesn't matter, but I like it all. I'll do large scale, small scale, micro scrapping. I love doing it all.
I'm in it.
And the Twinkie question.
My self pleasures besides Twinkies. I feel like that's a loaded question, just like the Twinkie. But self pleasures. Well, I mean, there's always my Pepsi. But I don't know. I really don't have much else. I'm a big cheese freak. I don't know if that, was what you were looking for, but I love cheese.
What could be more pleasurable than a nice, gooey, yummy, creamy Twinkie?
Exactly.
Spongy, it's yellow.
How can you possibly top that?
It lasts forever.
And they never expire. What the heck?
Yeah, they're made in Mexico now. Or so I heard. That I'm not sure when that all went down. I know when they stopped making the Twinkies and then they started making them again. They were making them in Mexico, but I don't know if they've moved them back, the factory back to the US now, or what they've done.
I have no idea. I just know that they're smaller.
Everything's smaller. That's what she said. Sorry, I get one, remember?
I just know. Sorry.
I'm allowed one on each show.
I'm trying to be a good interviewee here.
Oh, that's funny. It usually starts going downhill after a while, and especially as we do the after show. Geez, I
love it.
Scrapping. I know you fix vehicles. Home improvement type stuff. Are you handy with that, or?
I've done. I mean, I know enough to do what I got to do being a homeowner. You know what I mean? There was a time when, of course, this was. I didn't film this because I felt completely overwhelmed, but I had found out that water was leaking in from the door on the back. and like everything was rotted out from, I mean, I was going to replace the door anyway, and I found out the floor was completely rotted about 2 or 3 feet in. It was bad, and there was mold and everything. So I had to tear up the entire floor, cut it all out, put the floor all back in and everything. And I was like, I got to hire somebody to do this. And my father's like, no, you don't. You've got this. You can do this. And I did. But yeah, those sort of things. I just spent $400 on a 32-foot ladder.
Now you have to go on your roof.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing about me. I'm afraid of heights.
Really?
Yep. I mean, I'll get up on the ladder, but I mean, I get, that's one of the reasons I bought a $400 ladder, because I had an aluminum one and it was shorter. And every time I get up on that aluminum ladder, it wobbled so much, I thought it was going to break or I was going to fall, So I got myself a nice fiberglass one.
A hint, they're made to wobble. If they don't wobble, those are the ones you want to watch out for.
Well, when I say wobble, I'm talking unnaturally so for a ladder. Let's just say that.
So you probably had what I refer to as a Harry the Happy Homeowner ladder, which was probably a Type 2 ladder.
Pretty much.
And not a Type 3.
Pretty much. It was a thin aluminum ladder. I knew I was overweight for it, and it was overextended, like, fully extended. It scared the living pants out of me. I thought I'd bust in two and I'd fall to whatever. So I'm like, the heck with this. I bought another ladder and I had to fix my flashing.
Oh, see, that's where my pump station would have come in handy for you.
Hot Mess is interacting in the chat.
Yeah, she's a good co-host. She talks with them so that I can concentrate on one.
Eileen wants to know what all pleasures are besides Twinkies.
What pleasures all besides Twinkies? So this is for all three of us?
Sweet tarts. I have a thing for sweet tarts. They're my favorite candy. It's about the only candy I'll eat. I got a bag of candy here that my wife bought me because she thought that maybe I was tired of sweet tarts, but you can't get tired of sweet tarts.
This may sound kind of strange, and it's kind of a seasonal thing, but I love seedless watermelons.
Yeah.
I cannot get enough of that.
Really? It tastes the same as the seeded watermelon, and you don't get the pleasure of spitting out the seed.
Yeah, well, the pleasure of spitting out the seeds I can do without.
I've currently been binging on chocolate ices.
Oh my!
Those all just today, Miss?
Yes. Well, they only have like 100 calories. They're not bad, but they're like Mario's chocolate ices, Marinos, and I don't know if I can find them outside New York. So I'm eating as many as I can.
Hard Life likes pomegranates. Yeah, pomegranates aren't that bad. My daughter loves pomegranates.
Yeah, they're picking
I don't get them. But they're like the crunchy, right?
No.
Can you bite into them?
You basically can only eat the seeds.
Yeah, but they're like crunchy, aren't they?
Well,
I tried them; they were crunchy.
The seeds are covered with like a gelatin type substance, and the gelatin type substance is what you eat. You don't really eat the seeds, or at least that's how my daughter does it. But I think it's a superfood, is it not? Pomegranates? I don't know.
I cheat and I'm just gonna
stick with the
juice. I just go get the juice. I cheat.
The pomegranate juice is good. Every once in a while, I like having a nice pomegranate juice. Good stuff.
Dry the mouth out, though.
Yeah, it does. It does. But every once in a while, I have this craving for Welch's grape juice too, like Concord grape juice. Oh, good stuff.
Oh, I like the Kedem, like
the what
comes out for Passover, the grape juice. Kind of like, my brother. Okay, during one Passover, had the grape juice, the Quidam grape juice in a wine glass, and he's like a little guy, and he's like drinking it, and he thought he was getting drunk, and he's like,
I'm not Jewish, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
What about
it's grape juice?
What about apple cider, guys? I mean, it's getting to be that time of year. Do you guys like apple cider?
I'm not the biggest fan of apple cider, unless it's been fermenting for a while.
Is that the same with grape juice?
No, I do like grape juice. And
Everything is pumpkin now. Do you see all the pumpkin stuff out in the stores now?
Mm-hmm.
Pumpkin. Every end cap, every supermarket's got pumpkin this, pumpkin pasta sauce, pumpkin pancakes. It's like
it's a phenomenon.
And I said to my Mike, yeah, I said we have to try some pumpkin every year. We never try pumpkin. He goes, well, what do you want? I go, I don't know. I hate pumpkin. So,
you just said something, and it gave me a great idea. You said pumpkin.
Okay.
Spaghetti sauce, pumpkin sauce.
Uh-huh.
Eat that with some spaghetti squash. That might be good.
Very squashy.
Interesting.
Have you ever had spaghetti squash, Gil?
No, I've never had spaghetti squash.
Really?
If you cook it right and you scrape that stuff out and you slap it on the plate, you will not know that you were eating squash. You throw some spaghetti sauce on top of that, and you will not know that you were eating squash.
I had a bad experience with squash when I was a kid. I don't normally eat squash, but it was one of those situations where, I was a kid and I was eating my dinner and I didn't want the squash on my plate. And my mother's like, you eat everything on your plate. And I'm like, I really don't like it. I don't. And my father's like, you eat that now. You're sitting at that table until you eat that. And he made me eat it, and it came back up, and they had to clean it all up.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that would disappoint me a little bit there too.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I told you I didn't like it.
Yeah, see, when I grew up, my mother was one of those ones that I had to try it, at least try it, but she wouldn't make me eat it if I just didn't like it. So
yeah.
But
I am really digging your green screen setup. That is totally cool, man.
Thank you. Yeah, and like I said, I don't know what my wife paid for this thing. She went and bought it at Walmart. It's a 12. I think she said it was 12 square. I don't know how big it is, but it's about 10 feet long and 6 feet wide or something like that. And that mixed with a new camera, which that cost me $52.90 on eBay.
Vast improvement.
So, yeah, it doesn't look like, somebody said today, it won't look like I'm bleeding out my shoulder no more with this thing. Because this
Pour me on the surface of the sun. I swear to gosh, it looked like you're baking. Like
the only thing I don't like about it is, see this shirt? The shirt is actually purple.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why it's showing up blue. It's actually purple.
Wow.
Interesting.
So, I haven't played with it enough to see about adjusting colors or anything like that on it. So I just basically set it up and started using it.
So yeah. Geez, that's pretty much it that I can think of. Of course, there's probably a bunch of other stuff I can talk about, but
yeah, as soon as you sign off, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, I probably
yeah,
oh
yeah." That's usually always the way it is.
That's happened.
What are some of the issues that you dealt with in the beginning? Any struggles you have? Because I know you had a few people in your chat earlier. They were struggling, and they were frustrated. We all go through that, but what were the ones that you actually dealt with when you first started out with your channels? Like,
what do you mean exactly? Are you in terms of like
some obstacles you faced when you first began, frustrations, things you learned along the way that
you're talking about like speed bumps that I've run into along the way? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry. No.
Am I speaking Klingon? I don't know.
No. Not at all. Sorry. I get confused so easily. But no, in the beginning, I would say my biggest advice was like, getting the views, getting that traction with views and getting people to see my channel and watch my stuff. And like any YouTuber, you take the time to film something, you edit something, and it takes hours to do that if you want to do it correctly, and then upload it, and then you get like 20 views. So it was kind of frustrating at first, but if you strive to get better, I started doing research and finding out things like tags and stuff like that help out. The fact that you're a small channel kind of works against you in a way, because you're still new to YouTube, and YouTube's still trying to figure you out, whether you're going to stick around, you're not going to stick around, whether your content's good, bad, indifferent, whatever. So I started working on my tags, anything I could possibly do to improve my channel, improve the appeal of my channel, and the views started coming in. I'm still struggling with views to this day.
Now you study the analytics and all of that stuff a lot, which I don't pay attention to, but the only reason I don't pay attention to them is because I don't understand it all.
Well, if you and I say, I don't know if you're planning to meet me here or you want to meet up at Coos Canyon, but at some point you and I should get together and we can go over some of that stuff.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Seriously, because I'm sure you know a few things that I could benefit from, and vice versa.
I doubt I know anything that you don't.
Well, I've like I know how to set up chroma key and stuff like that, but I've never actually used a green screen before. Maybe glass half full, maybe.
Eileen, we got another personal question.
Ooh.
Freeman wants to know what your wife thinks about you being on YouTube.
Freeman,
Sorry, I'm scooching it by the way.
Good question, by the way. I like that. She really doesn't care. She just doesn't want to be on YouTube with me. She doesn't want to be on the camera. Every once in a while she gets a cameo when I upload a video, because she just kind of walks into while I'm filming. And I'm like, well, I was filming, so okay, you're staying there. I'm not digitizing you out. But yeah, she doesn't care. I would hope that she would want to take part in it, kind of like, a married couple like Pusha Studios, or, like Faith in the Fallen or something like that. But she does. She doesn't care. She's very indifferent about it.
It's kind of hard. When I first started doing live streams, I did some live streams on my own, and I was getting 6-7 people in there. And then all of a sudden I did a live stream and I had my wife on with me, and it jumped up to like 12. So I'm like, hey, you need to live streaming with me once. She was all into it until it was time to actually do it. And then she's like, no, that's your thing. You just go ahead and do it. And she'll get in here and she'll actually sit beside me and interact with people in the chat. But she doesn't really want to be on it with me.
Right.
But
see, my wife wants absolutely nothing to do with it. She sees it.
Got my guy.
Nice.
So do you find your wife maybe getting frustrated with you sometimes because you spend so much time on YouTube? Or
no, not really, because when push comes to shove, family time is family time, and there are days when I cancel live streams because I'm watching a movie with the family. Yep. Family trumps anything I do on YouTube, even though you guys are my extended family, so to speak. But the family that I can see and I live with and would suffer the wrath of, they take priority.
You have to.
Yeah. I know my wife gets a little frustrated, but it's not because I don't think it's because I don't really take time away from her, because most of the time I'm on it, she's either in bed sleeping or she's at work. So doesn't bother her too much. But when she comes home at night and I'm talking and doing something, then she tends to stand out there and give me looks, once in a while of like, you really need to get off that thing.
There are people that get obsessed with it. They really do. That are on all hours of the night, thinking that they're going to be successful, live off YouTube, and they turn into trolls.
Yeah, yeah.
My hands are.
I had heard you.
Oh yeah.
Now I don't know a lot because we got a group of us that if I'm on, they're always there with me, and if they're on, I'm there with them, no matter who it is in that crowd. And so I do spend a lot of time on this, but like I said, usually it's when my wife is at work or she's upstairs sleeping, and I got that 3 days a week that I work 12-hour shifts, so I don't get a lot of YouTube time. And I think that also allows me to not get into that, oh my, I've had enough of this, and I just want to stop for, a little while. I don't feel that yet because I get that 3 days a week that I don't really deal with YouTube all that much.
I mean, every once in a while, there are days when I'm not I don't feel it. You know what I mean? I'm like, I hate, hate's a strong word. I very much dislike coming onto YouTube, going live when I'm not at my best, because I feel like people can see it. And I want to better someone's day. I don't want them to be like, oh, Bob, what's wrong with you? Oh, geez.
Okay, I know you come to Coffee Chat, but have you ever actually tuned in when I first turned it on live?
No, because when do you normally start your live streams?
About 8 o'clock.
Yeah, see, I start work at 8:30, and I sign in usually around 8:25, 8:30, and you're well into your stream by then.
Yeah, because before that first a cup of coffee is totally down, I am definitely not at my best. So, we can't always be at our best, but that's part of YouTube, is to see people when they're not at their best. To see.
This is why I'm never on your morning shows.
You're never on
Maine-iac.
the morning show, you're in bed.
I'm still in bed, like, why is the sun up?
Yeah.
But yeah, I completely understand. I mean, you can get burnt out doing this very easily. So you've got to kind of pace yourself and do it. You got to pace yourself around your life and make sure that you're,
Yeah, and I don't want to overdo it. I've offered to give away the new thing I'm trying with the Behind the Channels European edition. I'm actually trying to get Ralph Morick to take it and run with it.
With the European edition version? That's cool.
with the European version, because one, Ralph helped me come up with the whole concept. It was Ralph, Nomadic Bike, Prev, Monica Tiamoni Arts, and I sitting around on a live stream, and I just come up with this idea, and we just sat there and hashed it out. And so I credit those people for helping me with this. And Ralph was the one, he named it Behind the Channels. And so I keep, hey, Ralph, you take it, start doing live streams and run with it, dude. But part of the reason I'm doing that is because I've got my Behind the Channels. I've got 1, 2, 3 morning chats that I do every week. I've got my videos I've got to try to upload, and it can be a lot.
Yeah, it certainly can. I agree with you, Gemma, by the way. I agree.
Yes. Yeah.
Gemma's Jenny Gray says, Maine-iac Variety, I think sometimes it's good that we are not at our best because we learn, and it's being human. People need to see when we are not at our best. I love done that more recently, so I'm not.
She probably meant I have done this more recently, but yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not at my best right now. I can't read.
And go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say there have been days when I've kind of forced myself to go live just for the sake of consistency, and if you do it enough, YouTube's going to be like, we're recommending you less. But yeah, you were saying, sorry.
No, that's it. I was actually going to bring up, which might be a little bit of a sore subject, but a lot of people might not know about the swatting that you was a victim of.
Yeah.
And you don't need to tell us about that because I mean, any of us here that know it, we've already heard the story. But what did that do for your view on the whole YouTube?
I mean, the biggest lesson that I took away from that is just making sure that all of my information is secure. Unfortunately, all someone really needs to swat someone like that is their address and their name, which is super unfortunate. And it's one of those things where the people doing it don't truly. I don't think they realize the gravity of the situation. I mean, people could die. People could die in these sort of things. And for those of you that don't know what swatting is, it's when someone calls 911 and says they're you. And this is while you're live streaming, by the way. Says they're you and say you've done horrific acts. And in my case, they told the 911 officer that I would shoot at any police officer that approached my premises. So, they thankfully, while I was on the live stream, they attempted to call me several times. On the third attempt, I finally answered and I started talking with the officer, and they let me know they were on their way. And thank goodness they did. Thank goodness they did. I don't know. That would have been one heck of a surprise to see police just pulling in.
Wow.
And doing what they did.
But that didn't hinder you. There was no thoughts of, screw this. I'm not going to mess around with that no more. Now it has really affected my family or.
Well, yes, it did affect my family. It was a very traumatic experience, but I don't. Your information is going to be out there no matter what. Unfortunately, I mean, if people search hard enough, they're going to find that very simple information and could do similar things to you, whether you're on the YouTube platform or not. And my resolve for staying on YouTube, something like that's not going to make me go away. I'm not going to give up what I've worked so hard for. And give up on all the people that have believed in me and subscribed to me and watch my content because somebody decided to be a dink and called the police unjustly.
Exactly.
We got a raid going on here. It says
Hi, Raider.
JJ raid. I'm assuming that hunting and stuff with J&J has decided to raid us.
The joke Gil has with you.
She congratulated me. All five congratulated me.
Oh, yeah.
It's over. Do you see a ring on that hand? Oh.
So yeah, that was devastating, and it's probably a good thing that they called you because I'm not going to say what town you live in, but isn't a very big town, so yeah. I'm sure the police had to come from away.
Well, thankfully, well, it was a combination of sheriffs and state police that had showed up, and there were several cars, several troopers. But thankfully, I knew a few of the sheriffs, and that's actually who had reached out to me and talked to me. And
wow.
Yeah, it was one of those situations where I had AK-47s pointed at me, my family. Handguns. They had to do their job. They had to take it seriously. But come on, someone calls and says that. Go ahead.
But they call in and they say this, but the voices won't match. Even if you just go, you put your hands up, you go, and they'll eventually figure out it's not you, right? It's traumatic, but in the end, they'll know it's not you.
Well, in the end, they'll know it's not me because, well, in my case, they said I killed my wife, and yeah. And I'd shoot at any police officers that reach the building. So we're sitting there, we're live, and I'm like panning over. There's my wife. That was one of the few times she was completely okay with me showing everybody that she was still with us.
This happened live on stream?
Yes.
Well, yeah, that's why
Oh my
people do what they do. Yeah, they get a kick out of it to see it live.
Oh my gosh.
See,
Yeah.
I've mentioned I'm lucky enough to live in a town where I actually personally know some of the police officers. So if something like that come in, Carl would call me and say, Errol, we just got a weird phone call. What the hell's going on? So he would probably tell me, well, I'm going to stop by, but I don't think that they would be, a big old SWAT team coming in on me. He would stop by and check it out, but he would call me and ask me what was going on and tell me he's going to stop by, because he's got to check it out. But
right, of course.
Other than
See, that's why you got to live in an RV.
I would love that. Someday, that is my dream. Maybe not an RV.
No one
maybe
can find you.
See,
those teardrops are so cute.
I don't want an RV. What I want is I have designed, I don't know where it is on paper, but mostly in my head, a little teeny tiny small camper that pops up, and it don't pop up very high, but you can haul behind your motorcycle. And I think that would be awesome to just spend a year out on the road,
That'd be super.
That would be pretty cool. So
there are places all over the country that you could camp at for free or just stop and sleep at for free. I mean,
yep. One of the weirdest things that ever happened to me, I was on one of my road trips, and I just pulled off this road and went down this road, and it went down to a little river. And I just threw out my sleeping bag and laid down beside the bike for the night. And then all of a sudden, through the trees, I hear, and it was so freaking creepy because it was absolutely quiet out there in the woods and tapped. To find out, I was only about a mile away from Fort Knox.
Oh
my gosh!
So, and what it was is at midnight, I guess it was, they play taps, or maybe it was 11. I can't remember the time, but they play taps, and it just coming through the trees out of the dead silence. It was one of the creepiest things I've ever experienced. But on a good note, I figured out it was there, and I went to go see what Fort Knox with the gold in it all actually looks like the next day.
Seeing the look on your face when that started happening, you'd be like,
oh yeah, it was chills rolling up my. Oh, it was freaky. It really was.
But in the end, as far as the swatting goes, a couple of good things came out of it. Awareness for one. We pushed out the awareness of it. We pushed out the importance of keeping your information as secure as humanly possible. And believe it or not, I gained a few YouTube friends out of it. R5 Adventures is one of them. The very next day after it happened, she was actually discussing it on her channel, and I actually went over to visit, and I joined in on the discussion in the chat. And before I knew it, we were talking on a regular basis. So that's kind of how we met.
I think it's probably happened enough now that a lot of the police agencies out there are probably pretty aware of it.
They're aware of it, but the problem is they're still trying to figure out what to do about it.
Right.
Because there's so much red tape to figure out who did what and who made the call with, IP addresses and there's ways people can spoof phone numbers and, with VPNs and all that stuff. It makes it extremely difficult for them to figure out who actually is doing these things. They have caught a few people, and they've gotten the book thrown at him. I know one, I can't think of his name, but he got like 25 years in prison.
Good.
He deserves it. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's
I could never do nothing like that, because when I went to call, it would show up, Errol, Ireland is calling you. I don't know how to do any of that other weird stuff that you was talking about. So I can never get in trouble for anything of that, because I would be in trouble, because I don't know how to do any of that stuff. I'm too. Yeah. They
did R5. They never found him. The detective that was working on my case never was able to determine who it was.
And that's the hard thing, because it's YouTube. So it could have been somebody in freaking Bangladesh or something, Yeah.
The only
thing they could tell me is
It was a Southern accent. That's all they could tell me.
And the
I
question?
can't do Southern accents. Oh, Mrs. Hopkins wants to know, who would you want to play you in a movie?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, why don't we ask the people in chat, who do you think should play Gil in a movie?
Yeah, who should play me in a movie?
Yes, and while we're waiting for the answers, Freeman wants to know what your favorite books or music are.
My favorite books on music?
Or music.
Oh, or music. Well, I don't really have a favorite book, but my favorite music usually is classic rock. I love listening to classic rock. I am a child of the 80s, and I don't think any other decade even remotely compares.
Do you have a favorite specific band or singer?
I like all sorts. I mean, Bon Jovi, Def Leppard, Led Zeppelin, Leonard Skinner. I mean, there's too many to count. AC/DC.
Okay, we got some answers here. Okay, we have who they think should play you in a movie. We got Eric said Jack Nicholson. Lil Tar said John Travolta. Hazel Eye says Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis, yeah.
Can you imagine Bruce
Sanchez says
Can you imagine Bruce Willis with a goatee as long as mine?
I can see you doing that. I think Bruce Willis would make a great Gil skills. We got Chilino Sanchez says Quentin Tarantino. Get It Done Granny says Sam Elliott.
Adam Sandler,
and,
Mama
Ralph
Q.
Morris says Louis C.K. From Ralph Morris says Louis C.K. and Mama Q, Adam Sandler.
Ooh, Louis
All
C.K.
great choices.
You don't know your Louis C.K.? Oh, he's a comedian.
Out of all of them, I think
From Louis.
Adam Sandler is my favorite.
Adam Sandler, yes, good.
I like Quentin Tarantino movies. He's a halfway decent actor. His movies, some of them are good, and some of them are just they don't even make sense.
Yeah.
I vote with Bruce Willis though.
You think Bruce Willis would be?
Oh, he's delicious. Are you kidding me? He'd be great.
He'd have to put a bodysuit on to have like the spare tire that I got.
I don't know.
I think at this point he has one.
Yeah, he's getting up there in age. He's not quite the fit man that he used to be. He's still a hell of a lot more fit than I am, but he's getting up there. I can see Bruce Willis with a goatee.
Okay, guys. Okay, who should play Maine-iac Variety in a movie about himself?
Good Lord, good question.
Maine-iac Variety. Who should play Maine-iac? Oh, Granny thinks you should play yourself.
Sean Connery.
When I was younger,
Sean Connery. Yeah.
When I was younger, in my late 20s and early 30s, I had a distinctive look like Carrie Elwes, and nobody knows who that is.
We're doing Maine-iac today. Clint Eastwood.
Carrie Elwes is the main male character in The Princess Bride.
Oh, yeah, you did. I saw that picture of you. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
As you wish. We got
Gordon Fisherman.
Gordon
Chuck
Fisherman.
Norris. Oh.
Chuck Norris. Oh my God.
I like that one, Aaron Garcia. That is funny. That is funny.
I like that.
Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer.
Wow.
I don't know if I could see him being
answers,
Val
guys.
Kilmer or Val Kilmer being him.
Now, do I dare ask?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. I don't know if I should ask this. Who should play me? Who should play a movie about me? And me?
Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock.
Steven Spielberg. I hope that's for
Geniality.
Maine-iac. The moment. Lady Gaga.
Wow.
I like that.
Ooh, Miss Hopkins
Chanino.
73 said
Gucci.
Maine-iac should be Steven Spielberg. I agree with that.
Oh, that's you.
He is totally Steven
Yeah,
Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg, yeah. Jennifer Aniston. Aniston. All right, who will play Missy in the movie? I just.
All right, folks. I promised Gil that he'd be up here for an hour, and he's been up here for an hour 15. So I'm going to end this portion of the show. We're going to switch over to the after show, and Gil is more than welcome to stick around for the after show if you would like, which is where we no longer have to behave if we don't want to.
Okay, before we go, Julia Roberts, Jennifer Lawrence, and Lisa Kudrow. Okay,
Oh, yeah, I'm still going with Sandra Bullock. Guys,
Lisa
make sure you pay homage to the hostess.
please.
Very much so. But with that said, I'm not going to shut anybody down. I'm just going to say thank you for watching Behind the Channels. This has been Gil Skills. Go over and watch Gil Skills, and I'm going to steal one of his words. If it jives with your vibe, then subscribe.
I love it. You said that perfectly.
But just go ahead and watch a video. Please watch it in full and leave a comment. Thumbs up if you like it. And if it does jive with you, then go ahead and subscribe.
Oh, man. Hunting stuff with J&J. It's Sharon Stone. Excellent choice. Freeman James said Michelle Pfeiffer, which I think is also an excellent choice.
Ooh, thank you, guys.
I just got to switch.